Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and welcome to all of you guys who are coming back, and to those of you guys who are new to my channel. I do 2 videos a week, one every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time called 1 in 10 by Jen, From Mailbox to Masterpiece. So if you want to send in your scraps and have a card made just for you and sent back out, that would be one that I would encourage you to join in on. Also, all you have to do is join our drama and commitment free group on Facebook, down below in the description box, and we'll get you the information to join in on that. The other one is, of course, today, every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, called our Sunday Funday, where I teach you how to do something or we explore a medium together. Super fun. I'd love to have you for each one of those. If you can't watch live, then go ahead and catch us back on... Hi, Mayuki. Hi, Brenda. Catch us back on the replay. That'll be in here for you anytime you want to check it out. If you missed the first Sunday Funday Punch Art Ladies, the link is in the description box below to help you find that one if you want to watch it first. In that one, I made these. Hi, Sherry. And so I have stuff still punched out from these, and I'm going to save them for the next time I want to create more. Here's a few of them so that you can see what they look like. Just super fun. I don't have all the punches that I had when I made these with my friend. So then during the video, I made a few more just using things I had on hand. And so here are some of the ones that I was able to come up with using my punches at home. I think this one is my favorite. She is super cute. And for today, I kind of want to do another idea for punch art eyes that I found on YouTube that someone else was doing. And I want to do a little bit of kind of a spin-off on that. Hey, Wanda. And then I'm going to branch out into creating these ladies, not using punch art, but using a stamp as well. And I'm going to also show like some simple shapes and things you can cut out by hand for those of you guys who have not yet started purchasing punches. Punches will never go out of style. They never go down in price. So they are a very, very good thing to invest your money in if you're going to be a card maker or a scrapbooker or whatever kind of paper crafter that you want to be. So I am going to move these guys over and show you exactly what I'm talking about for our group today. If you want to see more about these ones, again, the link is in the description box below to part 1 if you want to check those out. So today I'm going to veer into using this. And I'm also going to show you how to use some different punches and things, which I did last time. We're going to make eyes that look something like this. I'm going to try to make them a little bit smaller because I created these eyes before I realized I had this face and how fun it would be. And then I used some punch art and the stamps to create these ladies. So she has punch art hair. I would call these either feathers or like the colored hair that the girls wear in their hair. And then there's just some embellishments there. So she's a lot stamped, but she still has punch art. This gal is mostly stamped, but she's got some handmade hair that I made with some leftover papers that I had that were gold and blue. And then this one, she was, if you look on the back, I created her hair by cutting out a simple shape, put a little piece of red paper across the top, and then just colored her with some markers. She was done pretty much with alcohol. What did I use? I used Copic on her. This one I used Copic too, I think. And before I got into doing that, if you want to know, this one I just used a regular marker, which is why you can see a lot of the blotchiness. I don't recommend that, but if you've got nothing else, a watercolor or a water-based marker will work. I would also, actually I would suggest more so, if you don't have alcohol markers, is to use your inks as markers. So like if you want a nice face color, I would take, my favorite is caramel something from Stampin' Up, but I don't have that one. I think it's just caramel. Anyway, this would make a nice one, so tea dye. I'm going off on a little tangent here, but if you haven't heard of this, this is a really fun way to color things. So basically you just put down whatever color you want Like, I think that's a pretty kind of cool skin tone. So I'm going to use that color. And hopefully I'll get to making some cards. I've got some bases put out here today. But I want to use a piece of that to show you what I'm talking about. So either a paintbrush if you have them, or a water brush, whatever you have laying around that would work best for this. Also, a little water to spray on there is always good. I am not finding my regular one, so I'm just going to use this great big one right here. But if you get these wet a little bit, the more you lighten them up with water, the more it's going to saturate, you know, the color lighter. So you'll get a nice skin tone like that. If you go in direct into the ink without putting any water on it, you're going to get a super dark skin tone. And then if you want to, you know, fill that all in and then add in some shadows and stuff, then all you have to do is like go back in and go over it and add your shadows. So it's like a watercoloring technique, but then if you've got a lot of inks, then you've got a ton of colors that you didn't even know you had for watercoloring. So that's pretty cool. So I will probably use my markers, but maybe I'll do one with the inks just to show you. Oh, I have no idea about Vero Lopez. I got that brush from somebody because I wanted to try like the Asian brush painting and stuff, and honestly I never have taken the time to do it. So I have no clue. I just grabbed it out of a bunch of brushes that I have. My pets are making lots of noise today, so I'm a little distracted. Okay. Let's go ahead and stamp one of these guys. I showed this off in the sale video that we recently had yesterday. So if this is a set that you would like to have, let us know. We'll order one for you. I'm waiting to hear back from Wanda. Might be able to answer it. Wanda, were we able to get more of these? I'm thinking we were, but let me just make sure. I'm going to try this. I tend to have a heavy hand, and because this is so wide open, I kept getting black, and the stamp isn't very high. I kept getting black in the face. So I'm going to try to do this on my stamp platform and see if that fixes it for me. It may not. It may just be that I have to do it by hand and be very careful. Okay, so we might not be able to get any more of those. Bummer. It's a fun set. Yep, I got some on the face already. Do you see it? Sometimes if you grab an eraser and do it while it's wet, like instantaneously, I already waited too long probably. You can get some of that off of there, but not my favorite. Let's flip it over and try to do the other side. This time I'm going to try to do it on my own without this and see if I can get a nice crisp one. I just need a little bit bigger of a block. We'll use the big one. And let's see what we can get out of this. Oops. Oh. Make sure I get all the bubbles out. Alright, let's see if we can do this without messing up her face. That'll work. Now, one good tip about using, if you've got stamps that don't like stamp exactly perfectly, don't get too caught up on it. Just grab one of your black markers, black tip pens, whatever, and just color parts of those in. Some of this probably won't even matter once I get all this stuff in there. All the coloring. But if you want it super dark black, you can go over it again. I'm going to leave it just as that. And so let's go ahead and try some of this. Actually, you got to think about what you're going to lay down first. So if you are going to want, if you don't have a gel pen, because gel pens are really good. If you don't have a gel pen, then stamp your eyes and do the eyes and nose and everything first. Because if you want the whites of her eyes like that, these are colored with gel pen because I colored the skin first. So go ahead and stamp your eyes and do that first, and then color the skin around them. And if you're worried about your black bleeding, because mine will, even though I'm using VersaFine Onyx and I use Memento, sometimes when I go over them, my black still bleeds. And it's probably because I don't let them sit and dry or anything. I just keep going on with my project. So I'm going to try to do that inking technique that I told you about using this. Oh, I'm going to grab a different brush. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put a little water down. And I'm just going to paint the whole thing. One thing that I can tell you is that if you don't paint the whole, basically the whole thing without stopping, is then you're going to have those funky lines. So you can see that's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. And it was just that quick. You just paint it on. You can do that with the pink too for the cheeks. So I may do that a little bit later. But I'm going to first show you just a little bit of making the eyes and stuff. So there's a couple of different eyes to pick from. First is a row of noses. Let me hold it up on the white. First is a row of noses, and then we have the eyes, and then we have a row of mouths. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one. Now I have whites in this one, but I have a marker, so I'm not going to worry too much about mine. They stamp pretty darn well. And then I'm going to color in the colors of the eyes that I want. So all you have to do is just have either your, whatever kind of markers you want to use, whether that be the ones where you can blend or not. We did not get extra. Okay. Would we be able to get extra if anyone else wanted them? Thanks, Penny. This can also be done with colored pencil, but I'm going to grab out my trusty markers. This is that set that I paid like, what, $15 for, and I've been using it forever. I just love it. I'm going to take out two different blues. I'm going to go in with the light blue. You can just pick one color. You can get as fancy or non-fancy as you want. And then I'm going to go towards the pupil in the iris, and I'm just going to make that part a little bit darker. And then I'll hold it up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there I've got the light blue down. And then in towards the pupil, I added a little bit of that dark blue. Do you see how it just kind of muddles out into the light and changes that look? And then there's two little white dots there. I like to take my gel pen in and whiten those out a little bit more. So I go in, and I could have made the pupils like super black too. That would have totally helped. Go in with your marker, make it super black. And then at this point, I'm just going to throw down a little bit of white in the whites of her eyes to cover up that color I laid down initially. And then I think I'll add like one more little line in her eye, like a little shine line. And then the eyes kind of transform a little bit. If I wait till that dries, I can put down another layer of white so that they're stark white. But I'm going to continue on from this point. Just going to add on a little nose. Like that. Those parts are super quick. And then a little mouth. And the mouth is, which is nice, is that you can just go ahead and pick whatever color you want those lips to be and stamp it in that color. So I'm going to use this mouth on the end. Hi, Diane. And I'm going to color this one. I like this really light, like rosy red. I'm going to color this on. Don't do this with your alcohol markers, but any water-based marker will do. Oh, cool. And now she's got some really light colored lips on there. Cute. Okay. So at this point, she's bald. We have to add hair. This is where your techniques will come in, as far as, do you have punches that look like hair that you can add on? Can you hand cut something that looks like hair and just glue it on? So many different opportunities to get creative with that. You don't have to have the punches. Obviously, if you don't have the stamps, I've already shown you in the first version how to make them with just punches and your scissors, so you can kind of change that around. She's pretty much done. I might want a little bit of pink, but here's what I'm thinking. If I go in with my marker and do pink, or my other one, and I don't like the way it looks, I won't be able to like get rid of it. So another little tip that I have is, if you have these little daubers and you use these quite frequently, and you have some that have pink on it, this one looks like her lipstick. Try to use these and just rub a little on there. Look at that. I'm going to do it up, rub it up just a little bit onto her cheekbone there, so it doesn't look quite as like a perfect circle. There we go. I could have done it a lot lighter. I could have done it darker. I can add highlights and all that kind of stuff. Get as crazy or as detailed as you want to, or as, I guess, as experienced as you are. Sometimes I get, like, I really, really like, where did my gal go? The one that I took my time and colored like crazy. She's underneath. I took my time and really took my time to color this one. She turned out really pretty. Some of the other ones, you know, I didn't maybe rush through or didn't take my time as much. This one I didn't take my time on as much either, but it turned out really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more white to her eyes. I want to cover up that caramel color. That looks pretty good to me. So at this point now, if you might have those cheeky stamps, I can't remember what they're called, peachy keen, I think, they have all the little faces and that kind of thing. You could take circles and stamp those faces on, create your own hair. You can diverge from this and find all sorts of different things in your stash that you can create this type of project with. And that way, I think, I like to make things that, like, not everyone else is creating, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and cut around her, and I'm going to start thinking about what kind of hair do I want her to have. Do I want to just cut out some hair? Do I want to do punch art hair? Do I want to just hand cut it? Whatever I want, whatever. So I got to start thinking about that. I might cover up her ears. You don't have to. You can color her ears in if you want. You can give her earrings. You can add these onto bodies and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing I'd like to get to today too is showing you how to throw this on a card. So easy. Some people are like, well, what are you going to do with those? And I'm like, I'm going to put them on cards. Because that's basically what I do. So, I did not color in her neck. And so what I'm going to do is put down a little bit of water here and see if that color is still there. A little bit. And then grab a little from the tip of that color. Perfect. You see how I just did that on the tip of this? On the very edge? Don't add a lot of water. Just use that to pick up the color. That makes a really easy way to carry your inks around, and then you've got a way to watercolor and do all sorts of stuff. I would suggest doing that for the cheeks too, so that you can start real light and then build up that color using that technique. Is super fun. I think I'll probably make her hair brown. I got my little pile of hair over here. I should say my pile of scraps. I'm going to use the same brown I used last time. Only this time I think that I'm going to take, and here's another way you can make hair and stuff if you don't think that you have like total talent. Go ahead and see where her ears fall. How long do you want that hair to be? I'm thinking like maybe a little cute little bob. So I'm going to use a pencil so I can erase it if I want. So I'm probably going to want it to come up around her ears here. A little bit over the top. Okay. And I'm going to want to put some like little bangs on her. But I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with something super simple so that you can get the gist of what I mean. You can do this even if you can't draw. You don't need to be able to draw. Now I've got that white on the bottom. I think that's kind of cute. Let's go ahead and put this on her. That's going to look really cute. I just need to throw on some bangs. So these will probably work for bangs. Do you see how I just used the edge of that? Hey Rose, I'm going to hold on to that and I'm going to put it around to the back. And I'm just going to trace the top of her head. I'm going to need a little extra, maybe to glue on, but I'm going to make those 2 marks. I'm going to cut the largest mark, and that way I can use that to put on for her bangs. The bangs should be able to glue right to her head though. I'm just going to do a larger one just in case. You never know. You know what? I should have asked this right away in the beginning, but can you guys all hear me just fine? So now we've got that little bob, and we've got her little bangs, and we can play around with this and move it around till we like the way it looks. We can even cut, like I did with this gal, and you can even cut in the little bangs. Yes, cute tags, all kinds of things. Something fun to put on. Oh, good. I gave my my more expensive mic to my husband because no one could hear him on his Twitch. I'm trying to decide how much of a bob do I want. That looks pretty good. And then her bangs. And I don't think I'm going to cut the bangs. But I am going to pop them up a little bit because I think that would look really cute. Let's grab some of this foam. Where is my non-stick scissors? Somebody just said, I wonder how often hair salons get rid of their hairstyle books. My guess is as often as those companies put them out, they constantly change them out, I think. Coda butt. Coda. One second, you guys. Are you okay? He looked a little bit like he was having troubles breathing, so I just wanted to pop in on him. All right. So, I'm going to put this down a little bit lower because I wanted to touch her ears. Pop it on. Look how cute, and I didn't really take any work at all. I like her. Now we can put a little bow in her hair, whatever we want to do. Our friend Sandy Marino makes the best bows. And I know she sent me some little white ones. Let me see if I can find that little bag quick. Got some little white bows. Thank you, Sandy. So let's go ahead and grab one of them. Oh my gosh, how cute. Look how cute that is. Maybe I want to do a wash and color that bow, but check it out. Isn't that cute? So cute. Let's go ahead and... Where's that marker that I used for her lips or whatever? Was it this one? You know what? Close enough. I think this color would look really good on that. I am hoping that there will be enough pigment in this. I think I messed up that sprayer. The last time I tried to use it, it didn't work either. It's really frustrating. I'm just going to toss my bow into there and dye it that color. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right. Towel. I'm going to dry that off a little bit. You can dry it and heat set it too. I'm going to squeeze the water out of it. It's going to squeeze a little bit of color out, but that's okay. It'll be all right. And you can dye it again. Make it brighter, deeper. Oh, that's cute. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and dry it just a little bit. Use this one instead of the blaster. And then maybe even put a little gem in the middle. That might be really cute. Awesome. I'm going to put a little wet glue on there. My cat is not usually out here. And he is annoying me. So there we go. We're going to try to use some of these guys on cards too. So I did show you a little bit about how you can use your scissors to create patterns and stuff. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do. Does it include the whole face? It includes this whole thing right here. The face. So I might use my face stamp again. But so it has the face stamp right there. It has a row of noses, 2 rows of eyes, and then a row of mouths. So essentially 4 of each, and the face is always the same. But now, let's say you want to do a little bit of punch magic and make your own eyes, kind of like something like these. Now I made the eyes before I realized I had the face, so they are too big. I want to try to recreate some different eyes. Here's what I was thinking. If I could get a punch that made this cute little leafy pattern smaller than this one, I might have a really nice shape there. So I think I'm going to have to use another one of my card bases because I didn't prep enough plain white to play around with. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Okay. I want to cut out a couple of those leaf shapes. Because I was thinking those would make some really cool eye shapes. But here's the thing is I feel like those are way too big too. Look at this. And they're probably about the same size. Yeah. So we want to make these a little bit smaller. I'm just going to use this as my shape and just recreate a smaller version of it. By just following that top line, that's it. That's all I'm going to do is just follow that top line. I might even be able to do that one more time. And in using punches, that helps you recreate something without having to just make it completely on your own. If you want the second one to be the exact same, go ahead and just put them together. And then just copy that curve that you cut off of the other one. So hopefully this will make it a little bit easier. If you don't want the eyes to be that almond shaped, you can cut the edges off. So I'm going to put mine together. Actually that's not bad. I'm going to cut off a little bit of the corners. Not sure I want it to be quite that pointed. Okay. Now we've got a little couple of the whites of the eyes. And then we need to have the iris, which is the color of the eye, whatever color you want that to be. And I'm thinking this probably would make a pretty good iris for that one. This is 1/4 of an inch. So let's see, what color do I want her eyes to be? I've already got a green one and a blue one. Green and blue are the most. Let's do brown. I'm just going to take my marker and just color across here because then I don't have to search for any kind of paper. I can just cut out my 2 circles for my brown irises. And then 2 tiny ones for the pupil, or I might just draw my pupil on. That might even be a little bit better. Just so that it doesn't show a lot of the white after you've punched it, I'm going to go around this with my marker and color over the edge. This is a trick that a lot of crafters use to make things look just a little bit more finished. I'm going to go let my cat back into his space. Come on. Come on, man. Go. All right, good boy. All right. Thanks for your patience. I'm going to go ahead and pop these onto the eyes. Look at that. Those are not too bad, huh? All right. I will probably draw my iris on, but here's the thing. We still need a little bit of that like black on top or black on bottom. So I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do this with black. So yeah, no black. Let's not dig for black paper. Let's just create our own. Make that looks pretty good. I'm cutting another one of the leaves. Whoa! Because, there it is. That was the same shape as what we just used. And so I want to use these to sort of cut off that top and that bottom to follow that same shape. Let's start with the tops. So maybe we want to have the top like that. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. I think I'm going to need 2, right? Okay, let's do one for this side. I think I went from the wrong side. Well, in any case, if I was to follow that way I did it the first time, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? All mistakes happen. Let's do this one again. You gotta follow it the same way. So one's gotta go one way, one's gotta go the other way. I'm gonna use a better marker too. Oh, you know what? I bet this would make some nice black. Let's do this. This is amazing stuff. It sparkles, but it makes it pitch black. So cool. This is Sparkle Pen by Spectrum Noir. See that? See the shine? Oh, I still see white through there. I'm going to go over it one more time. There we go. Easier to see looking at my camera. Okay. So, one for this side. It's going to go that way. And we're going to have to do the other one the other way. I don't know why this is giving me heck. I want to break it. I don't want to break it. Jeepers. It just won't cut that edge. Alright. Likes to cut just one at a time, so let's go ahead and ink up this corner. I mean, yeah, sometimes you don't get things perfect, but so what? It's only paper. Gotta do a little experimenting sometimes. Alright. So, that one I did, I think, correctly. Let's try this one. So, I'm going to come with the edge in the corner. Yes, and then go out to a little bit of a... I probably should have copied the other one. That's pretty close. Not bad, just a little bit thicker, which it'll show up, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue these on. I'm going to try to glue the the iris on first. So if you look in a mirror, or you look at yourself with your eye, you don't normally see the white of your eye all the way around, which is why that looks like someone's just like holy cow, like somebody just surprised the crap out of them. So what you want to do is take your little eyebrows and go over the top of that iris. Don't be afraid to just cover it up. You'll get a much better look. I guarantee it won't look like they're freaking out. Don't freak out, little guy. We're alright. Okay. Now, if you don't like the way this looks because one of mine is fatter than the other, just make sure that when you cut yours, you lay them together and cut them the same like I did the first time round. That will get rid of the fact that they're both different. One's thicker, one's thinner. Maybe that's the way, right, Wanda? Don't freak you freak. Just have fun with it. I mean, I'm just enjoying myself. It's so cool. Alright, pupil. I like the dependability of, where's my marker now? My marker, yes. My Sharpie marker that has 2 different ends, I like the dependability and the accuracy of this small fine tip instead of the end. So I'm going to do my pupil with that. Ooh, brown makes it really hard to see that. I'll go to the edge. So I have to tilt my head a little bit so I can see where that is. Okay. And I'm going to put the little dot on there. And now the eyes are starting to come to life. And I know it's probably hard to see from there, so I'm going to lift them up. They're really starting to look cool. Okay? So there is another cool way to make the eyes. The only thing that was different about those eyes and these eyes is that these are all circles. So I started with the 1/2 inch circle, the 1/4 inch circle. Actually, I wonder if this one's a little bit smaller. This one might be a little bit smaller than a 1/4 circle. And then I used this teeny tiny one, which you can use if you have one around. It's totally up to you, but that's how her eyes turned out that way. I did the same trick, except for instead of cutting the things, I did this. So let's say we're cutting out our eye. Woo, there goes that piece. You slide it in just a little bit further. Do you see where the cut is? If you slide it in just a little bit further, you're going to get that arch. That's going to be the same size. It's going to match with your circle. So if you punch that out, you're automatically going to get that one. Where's that girl? You're automatically then going to get one that fits that circle. Do you see that? The white one? So you can do that with black paper, obviously, but that's how you get them. You just keep coloring, you just keep punching in on that hole to make it the same size, if that makes sense. I hope that does. Hope I didn't lose you guys, because that, I think, is one of the really easy ways of creating that kind of style without having to do a lot of work to get it. And I learned that, and I didn't write down her name, I'm sorry. I learned that from a lady online who made those eyes, and I thought that was genius. Oh, grabbed the glue just in time. I almost glued one of my lady's faces, and I would have been mad. I don't know what I did with my sprayer. I have it on mist. Just there you go. Okay. I think I broke it. Oh gosh. Let me put a couple of these things away. My desk is getting just clouded up with stuff. All right. Hello, Bobby Baker. Welcome. Are there things now at this point that I did not cover that you're like, hey, I was really hoping that you would do such and such or whatever? Let me know. I'll move these off to the side just in case we need them. I'm going to put one on a card now. We're going to come up with some kind of a cool card using one of our faces. I need a drink quick. So I do have a couple of card bases left. Oh, one got wet. We have one left. One left that's going to work out perfectly. And my bone folder walked away. Both of them. Really? I have 2 of them. Oh, there it is. Okay, 4 1/4. No, 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And a lot of, this is going to be a catch-all for all those who have questions when you say to me, well, what are you going to use that for? So here is a whole bunch of stuff that I've worked on in the past. You may have seen me make them or not seen me make them or whatever, but they're just backgrounds. So every time I create something, I don't throw it out. I just hang on to it so that later on I can pull something out and go, gosh, she might look cool on there. You know what? This one's got more pink. She might look cool on there. Oh, yeah. That's so cute. Let's go with that one. And I saved those. They're off to the side so I can get at them. Okay. Do I want another layer? Because like that could be the whole background. Or we could do another layer. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I'm thinking maybe putting her up here and putting the sentiment across this part at the middle. I do want another layer. Let me go ahead and cut this down a little bit. So I'm just going to cut off about like 1/8 of an inch on every single side. And hopefully that'll just give me a border, not too big. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this one down. I'm going to use ATG to put this one on. Okay, yellow to the bottom. Thank you, Mayuki. Okay, and to make her stand out a little bit more, why don't we pop her up as well? Now, I'm going to say this, and then probably next video I'll completely forget, so someone remind me. But I would like to get, during this video, your ideas and suggestions for the next Sunday. Is there something that you're just burning to learn how to do? Is there something that you need the steps broken down to? Is there something that's trending right now that you haven't seen me do that you'd really love to see something done on that? Hey, Bobby. So, just fell upon the site, never done anything like this before? Cool. Well, you can rewatch the beginning and see how I did the hair and stuff. It's super simple. Just need some paper and scissors and the stamp, or if you're a drawer, you can draw a face. Okay. She's going to look so cute on that. Now, we're going to do... We're going to do a sentiment on here, so I kind of want to get your ideas on that. What kind of a sentiment would you put for that? You could have it as a little girl's birthday. You could have it as, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. It could be practically anything. Paige, I would definitely invest in a really good trimmer. And the one that I have, I absolutely adore. It's a Fiskars, but you want something that has, you want something that's going to promise you to not have to replace any of your blades. So you want something that's got something heavy duty to hold this in place so it's not going to wobble. Alright, this is one that I highly recommend. It is the Fiskars one. I'm going to say I hate that it bends right here, but I've learned to get over it and use it as it is, so it's not a big deal. I like the fact that it bends because then it takes up a little bit less space. But it is, besides that one and the Caterpillar, which is made really similar, I would, oh good, I'm glad you did, because yes, if you're getting into paper crafting, having a trimmer that is dependable is huge, huge. I love these. I started out with one of these, and I still use them from time to time because they have purposes and they have, you know, good uses. But this is going to move because it's plastic, and when it moves, your line's going to get wavy, so you have to know how to use it. That, and it's just not as dependable. You have to replace these blades all the time, right? But I keep them around because I learned how to use them, and I like to use them for certain things. So I don't get rid of those. Okay. Right? Tighter biting blades? I was too. Oh, Arrow Mama says, how about Slimline Cards? I love that idea. Anybody got suggestions or a sentiment that they would like to see on this card? I'll maybe make a couple of suggestions. I've got my sentiment box right here. So we can do the happy birthday. We can do the celebrate. How about belated birthday wishes? Guillotines are really good too. Yes, yes. Cheryl Goebel. Miss seeing you. I like that. Thinking of you. I wish I had one that said miss seeing you because I think that one is perfect. Thinking of you. I have one right here that says thinking of you. Okay. Let's go ahead and use that because I've never done this one, so this will be something fun. It'll be a little experiment. Oh, thanks, Brenda. All right. We have this one that I'm going to stamp and cut out because I want the banner that it has. Where did I put that big block? Under here, didn't I? Yes, I did. Ta-da! So basically, I just really want that bottom part. So we're going to try to get just that bottom part. And then I'll fussy cut it. Oh, that worked out well. Okay, that is going to work out really well. So do you see this banner part? That's the part I want because I want to put the sentiment in there. So while I'm here, let's go ahead and add the sentiment right in there, because if it doesn't work out, then I can just go ahead and take this one and re-stamp it. Thinking of you. Oh, that worked out pretty well. I've never used that one before. Neat. I might get some little hearts cut out too. I think instead of trying to like super fussy cut this one, I'm going to leave a little white border. It's going to just make this a little bit easier to cut around, a little bit quicker to cut around. Product abuse. Yeah, except for the fact that this product has been lovingly used before, so it was definitely used before I even got it. So I call not product abuse. I like to fussy cut too. I had to cut up to the edge because those little lines were coming up from the top, so that looked kind of funky. So I'm going to see if I can find my brush. Like I did on the other one. I'm going to go ahead and blacken the top of this with my brush so that it doesn't look like there's white sticking out. Ooh, I went over the edge a little bit. I don't think anyone will notice. And then this one is going to go on. Oh, you know what? I could put it like right around her, near her neck right here will look really cute. Don't you think? Instead of down here. I like that. Let's go ahead with that. Yep, okay. We're going to have to put some little bits of... That is noticeable that she's naked. Wanda. Jeez. We are going to have a Zoom today, so if you're interested in Zooming with us, I will be posting a link after I clean up from this and get into our group. Perfect. Ta-da! That's so cute! So stinking cute. And we got a chance to use this stamp today. So that is super fun. I'm missing the other one. Where's my little block? Probably right in front of my face, yeah? Ah, there it is. I put it down here. Put the little sentiment back. And I'll pop that on here. So if you don't have yourself a spot where you keep sentiments, I'm horrible with sentiments, so that's exactly what I did. Put one together for yourself because it's a lifesaver. Total lifesaver. I'll get rid of all this scraps. We're at an hour already, and I'd really like to get to our Zoom, so I'm going to end here. Again, if there's anything that I didn't cover and whatnot, I've got one vote for Slimline Cards for next week. I love that idea. I already have one made, so it wouldn't be hard for me to maybe make some things ahead of time and have some really fun ideas of how to decorate them and set them up and things. So I would love to move on with that idea unless somebody else has any other recommendations. I'd love to hear them now before we sign off. So here we go. Alright, we did an extra one. We learned how to do some different eyes. The eyes are pretty. What if we put the eyes on here? Just so we could see what they would look like. Whoops. Let's cover up her other eyes. Oh, see, that's closer to the... There we go. That's closer to the sides. You can always cut those down. They don't have to be, you know, eyelashes off the side of your head. But that really worked out well for the eyes. So you can really pare them down. Just find some shapes and die cuts and things that you have that will work. Or cut them by hand. If you don't have all the tools and the tricks, do things by hand. DIY it. Okay, so if no one else has anything to say about that, we'll definitely move on with Slimline Cards. I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve for that. It'll be super fun. So check us out for that next Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then at that point, I'll probably let you guys know what's going on over Thanksgiving. Basically, that nothing's happening over Thanksgiving. But I'm going to give you details about how we've moved the sales and that type of a thing, okay? Alrighty. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I cannot wait to see you guys